Hi guys, I did this video a few minutes ago and it was too long. This what I'm going to talk to you guys about is a little bit explicit. It might be hard to hear, so if it's not something that you think you guys are going to be comfortable with, it is related to work and just a little bit stuff in general. Please just go ahead and stop the video now. Or else I'm going to go ahead and move forward. In regarding my job, and I guess it is also in general, because I'm going to talk a little bit more about that specifically. A few years ago, I had a patient that committed suicide, and it was traumatic, and I guess I want to say eye-opening in a sense. The we have to, even as family and friends, we have to see what the signs are when a person might be having these suicidal thoughts. So, at the time, I didn't notice it. The patient wasn't particularly my patient in general. I was kind of in charge of more wound care for the whole building. But that day on Christmas Eve, I want to say at least 5 years ago, I had to take care of that part of the floor. And I had him as a patient. And the patient was, it doesn't matter what age you are, when you have those thoughts, you have those thoughts. The patient was I believe, elderly, and decided that at this point that he, no longer wanted to live. So, that did happen. But it's traumatic, but it's also eye-opening. At the time, just in regards to my work, I told myself after all that happened, the cops and all that stuff, I told myself that I didn't want to be there in a year from now. I didn't want to be in the same position being there. And the place wasn't the greatest place to be at. There's word of mouth was not that great for that facility, but it was my first full-time job that I was there at. I learned quite a bit, but management and all that stuff was really horrible. People kind of did what they wanted to do, and I think the facility got cited to a point where state was in there and stuff. So I knew that I didn't want to be there within a year's time. And a few days before that following year, a few days before, I ended up leaving a message that I wasn't coming back to work. I already had another job, paid a lot better. I think, yeah, paid a lot better, and it was back in the neighborhood that I wanted to live in. So I did leave there, and I was happy with what I did. No problems there in that sense. But just talking in regarding suicide, usually people that, as some of you guys know, it's usually something that people don't normally talk about. The ones that are wanting to commit it, it's usually the people that you, in a way, least expect, because they don't verbalize, oh, I want to kill myself, I want to kill myself. It's usually the ones that are quiet and do it on their own. Usually the ones that they say that, oh, I want to do this, I want to slit my wrists, or anything like that. They have the thought, but they don't have the tendency wanting to do it. But, people that cut themselves, and, whether they do it in certain areas, that's a little bit different. For some, it's a release of some kind, type of pain that they feel that they need. But in regards to in regards to suicide, there are signs to look out for, and signs that, I guess at the time with work, I didn't, I was thinking about, going home. It was Christmas Eve, wanting to be with my family and all that, and not so much in the sense of, you know, staying there at work. My focus wasn't there. It was towards the very end of my day. So, it just felt bad all around. And just it's just a horrible feeling. But, it's not something I want to make this video about me. It's just in general about the situation. If you guys ever think that there's something going on, always have, haven't try to get the little bit of education. There's so much education now, especially even on YouTube. There's so many, there's doctors, there's so many people that are on here giving out so much free advice on different things, whether it's in nursing, whether it's in education. I mean, there's people that are teaching like small groups of classes on the internet, on YouTube, and it's completely free. Whether you're learning how to do this or do that. I looked up how to make a screen, and it's like it's all on there. I mean, there's so much information up on YouTube. I mean, YouTube is like a library. You just put in what you want. There's stuff, people doing things, whether it's how to fix something or how to repair something or anything. So, just looking up suicidal ideation or suicidal thoughts or anything like that, you'll get so much information. Or regarding bullying, because a lot of kids, even now these days, they are always thinking about, ways that they want to end their lives, that they, whether it's school, because the way bullies are, I think all of us have been bullied somehow, some way, and we've done it also in return. Not something that I do on a regular basis or anything like that. But I guess just in general, just watching for all those signs. And if you think your son or daughter is bullying, look up information on how to stop it or how to prevent it, or ways of coming up with that with your kid. Whether it's your son or daughter, and you want to help them out and don't know how, look up on YouTube. YouTube has so much information on there for all that stuff. So, there's so much information out there. I just kind of wanted to bring it to light because it's not always talked about, especially, suicide in general. And I think suicide for most have been affected. Someone has been affected in your family, or your friends, or known of somebody in some way, whether it's a coworker or someone in your building, or where you live or where you work. So it's out there, and sometimes it's due to other aspects in your life, whether it's someone in particular, or where you live, and a person in particular, or anything to that respect. There's always help out there, and if you're one that sees that there's a problem, always have a helping hand. If you can save a person's life, or give them a little joy, whether it's, maybe it's just the interaction of them being so isolated. So I'll leave it at that. I just wanted to talk a little bit about that in general, and just for us YouTubers and some of us that watch, like couponing, like what we do. This was just a little bit of information for those that do watch in regards to this in general. There's just a lot of information. There's so much information out there for what's going on now. I mean, we're moving to a nation where we had desktop computers. Now they say that At some point, that's gonna be the old, and we're gonna move to all tablets. No, they're not gonna have tablets anymore. They're not gonna have desktops hardly anymore. No one's gonna be buying them. It's gonna be kind of, to say, extinct, just like the cordless phone. I mean the phones that have the cord. I mean, the only one you see are usually some of the elderly that have it, or people that want it for style. Uh, Now people have the cordless phones, or they have cell phones. I mean, us in our home, we have a phone there, but only one that calls on there is telemarketers, because we use our cell phones. I mean, cell phones are now what this generation is moving to. So, the same thing with information. I mean, before we had, the World Wide Web, and now with YouTube, we have people making videos instructing people on how to do certain things, how to coupon, how to how to make certain products, or how to make your own products at home, or prepping, how to do prepping, and how to make your own soap, how to make all this stuff. There's people out there, coupon preppers, and all that other stuff that are doing so many things out there. There's so much information. And going back to, just people in suicide, even looking up just so you have an idea of what it is, it will stick in your head, whether it's certain type of behaviors, and you see that, you can catch on. I mean, it's just like in nursing, we learn also by what happens with a person. And there are instances that we have with doctors. The doctors, at the same point, we give them information, we tell them this is what's going on, I think this is what we could do. The doctor will give sometimes the doctors will give their input, or the doctors will go and say, no, we're not going to do this, let's do this, because the person's having this, and this. And we learn from all that. So, I mean, just like it is in nursing, it is in our daily lives. I mean, we learn by experiences, by what's going on, by what we see. Just the same aspect that we talk about when we don't want our children to be to be watching all these action violence, because it gets it in their thoughts that, oh yeah, this is the way of life to be, and all that stuff. There's this stuff, information out there to educate us regarding bullying, and we know what the right information is. We know that if someone is bullying, you don't turn the other cheek. You try to do something about it. But it's also getting that information to know the right steps in doing it. So going back to with suicide and all that, I just wanted to kind of see what you guys think. If you guys been affected by it, if just to hear your thoughts. I would like to hear any thoughts that you guys had in regards to either what I've talked about, or things that has happened to you guys that you guys are willing to share. Please leave it down below. I need to head into work, and I think I need to go on the morning call. So I'll leave it at that. I hope you guys are doing it great. And it is going to be really hot here in Southern California. And I will be doing another video. I'm going to talk about some YouTubers, and just couponing, and trying to encourage some of my subscribers to possibly doing some videos. So watch for the other video. Alright guys? Okay, have a good day.